Tonight, for our Wednesday Bible study series on how we live as Christians in the world, we are going to talk briefly about human trafficking and sexting. Your parents are here tonight, and we have leaders in the back of the room. If you feel uncomfortable or need to talk to someone, feel free to head to the back of the room, or just excuse yourself to the bathroom for a minute. We are going to be together as a whole group for the presentation, and then we'll break up into smaller groups for an activity afterward. Tonight we will look at Romans 12, 1-2. As Christians, we are called to not be conformed to patterns of this world. We are new creations who approach life through the lens of our faith. In light of that, we are going to talk about a dark pattern in this world. We are going to talk about human trafficking, which is owning a person and profiting from them. We're going to talk about what trafficking looks like in this country and just how it is happening in our world and right here where we live. There are hundreds of thousands of trafficking cases in our country, as is shown on this map of human trafficking hotline calls. Why do you think trafficking is such a big problem in our country? Let's talk about it. Sex trafficking is the most common type of trafficking in the US. Sex is everywhere in our country, on magazine covers, movies, and all over social media. It is easy to find yourself crossing lines you never thought you would because of what everyone else is doing. Trafficking happens when someone uses force, lies, or threats to get another person to do something. And where is the easiest place to lie? The internet. So we're going to talk briefly about what social media you guys use and what you share online. When you share pictures of yourself, or even give someone personal information, you are giving them access to you. They now have leverage against you and a way to connect with you on a deeper level. This is the perfect way for a trafficker to reel you in. The more you share with someone, the easier it becomes for you to share things you wouldn't normally be comfortable sharing. So how does God come into this whole equation? I know talking about God in the same conversation is awkward, but when we follow God, we commit all of our life to Him, even the sexual part of this. We're going to talk about 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. What is your favorite thing you own? Well, God values you 100 times more than that thing. We are called to honor God with our bodies, not cause harm to them, but see them as a precious gift of God. When we look back at Romans 12, 1-2, we can see that we are called not to follow the ways of this world. So when we are faced with whether or not we should do something which is acceptable in the world, such as watching pornography or sexting, we should consider whether this is something God would want for our lives. Is this a behavior which is honoring to God? Does this behavior treat your body as a temple? Sometimes you will be pressured to do things which are not honoring to God and potentially harming to you. Here's an example in this video about how that can get out of hand.
You probably get lots of messages every day, but what if you got one like this? What would you do? Would you send a picture? No? Cool. That's an easy way to protect yourself. But what if you'd chosen differently? What if you send the picture? They'd never share it with anyone else, right? Do you want the picture shared with others? Sorry, you no longer have a choice. It's out of your hands now, because sometimes people we trust break that trust. Maybe the person you sent the picture to shows it to some friends. Maybe they send it to a couple friends, who send it to a couple more friends, you get the idea. It spreads, and you never know who might see it. Your little brother? Your mom? Other people at school?
Seriously? Then I would never.
Even strangers could get a hold of your picture. You never really know where that picture will end up.
Look at it.
How long it will be out there? Or what the consequences will be. Don't let others decide what happens to your image. Think before you share. Learn more at netsmarts.org. And hey, if your image is already out there, know that it's not your fault. For information about removing sexual pictures and videos from the internet, visit missingkids.org/gethelpnow.
Now we are going to get into small groups and discuss what we've learned. Then we are going to do an obstacle course in our small groups where you have to make decisions, kind of like the girl in the video did. After that, we're going to come together as a group and do some final discussion.